Oh my goodness, he just threw Kevin Schnall out of the game. Down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle of things.
You asked for it, you got it. It's the College World Series between LSU and Carolina Coastal.
Wow! In the bottom of the first inning, the home plate umpire throws Kevin Schnall out of this game.
That's right. It's the bottom of the first inning of a must-win game for Coastal down in the series.
This seemed to stem from the first base coach, and then Schnall remarkably gets thrown out of the game.
We're going to analyze this based on the college baseball rulebook as well as an umpiring perspective.
Well, and I didn't even see that building, guys. Like, it's one pitch, and next thing you know, Schnall's out of the dugout. And
it did build. It started earlier, and for more on that, let's bring in T-Mac, who has worked college baseball.
Oh, thanks very much, Linz. It is so great to be with you on a collaboration video. As a college umpire, I can tell you this is a pretty standard situation. What we're doing here is handled by the book and extremely well by one of the best in the business. Let's break it down.
Matt Schilling up at first baseline. See, Angel Campos is going towards Matt Schilling. He didn't like it. And then now he tells Schnall.
Footnote, Matt Schilling is the first base coach listed on the website as an assistant baseball coach.
As an umpire, I feel like it's your job to manage the game.
Schnall and the first base coach, Schilling, have both been ejected.
With some poise, some calmness, and a little bit of tolerance.
If you've been with us for a while, you know that assistant coaches rank below head coaches and players on the tolerance hierarchy.
As an assistant, you're almost treated like a second-level citizen.
Fourth level, actually. It's a different class of citizen entirely.
Alexander off. Throw down. No good.
The first base coach comes out of the coaching box to argue balls and strikes on that stolen base. This is just a pretty basic warning.
I also want to point out, Tim, by rule in college, you don't even need to warn. You can go straight to an ejection, but this is the World Series and this is the first inning.
Especially in the first inning to get control of the game. You can't have a coach leaving his position, yelling at you. If we let one base coach argue balls and strikes, now we got to let everyone. We're going to let the dugout. So we got to get the game under control. Pretty standard.
So at that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes.
Every head coach knows what a ball strike warning is. They know how it's done. They know why it's done. It's pretty simple. This head coach, for whatever reason, came out of the dugout and wanted to be demonstrative.
Oh my goodness, he just threw Kevin Schnall out of the game.
Umpires have the authority to order a team to do or refrain from doing anything, such as arguing. That's where the warnings come from.
And at that point, I said, because you missed 3. At that point, ejected.
Sounds pretty standard to me. Assistant leaves position to argue, gets warned. Head coach exits dugout and argues. That's leaving position, balls and strikes after warning. Ejection.
If that warrants an ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize.
It very much warrants an ejection. We just explained why, so apologize. But actually, instead of that...
Again, this will always come back to whatever was said.
So while acknowledging the umpire issued the warning for arguing balls and strikes actually said as much, he objected to how it was done.
And I'm 48 years old. I shouldn't get shooed by another grown man.
So Campos goes to warn the dugout, and this is a pet peeve of mine that I will agree on. Don't shoe fly. Because shoe flying, for whatever reason, always aggravates and never makes anything better.
Right, so when I come out to ask what the warning is, a grown man shooed me.
Too much tea for me, so Tim, take over.
These are both pretty standard ejections for continued arguing of balls and strikes following a warning.
It was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes. And at that point, I said, because you missed 3.
There is no warning and then get to continue arguing 2 or 3 minutes after on balls and strikes.
Angel Campos had clearly heard enough. That thing escalated quickly.
And because of the importance of the game, some coaches may think they will get a longer leash. And you may get a longer leash to argue things respectfully. But this was not a respectful situation.
If you guys watched the video, there was a guy that came in extremely aggressively.
Oh, my bad. You were talking about the other guy. We're looking for another umpire coming in here, which is a different setup in college than you might be used to in pro ball.
Tripped.
Down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle.
Embarrassed in front of 25,000. Immediately goes 2-game suspension.
The 2-game suspension comes from continuing to argue excessively after being ejected, which definitely happened.
There was no bump. He was embarrassed. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
Here's the college baseball discipline table. Again, 2 games is for excessive arguing after ejection. If he was suspending you for an ump, physical abuse, that would be 4 games. It was only 2.
They'll retract it, though, because now it's excessive. And the reason why it's excessive, because I was trying to say, I didn't bump him. They'll retract it, though.
And boom.
That's an aggressive, guys. That's an aggressive.
So an impossible spot for Angel Campos, handled fantastically, and a great game by this officiating crew.
This seemed to stem from the first base coach. And then Schnall remarkably gets thrown out of the game.
And Linz, I'll let you wrap it up.
Thanks, Tim. The shoe fly gesture is the only thing that bothers me, perhaps inflames the head coach's, let's call it ego, but it's a by-the-book warning and then follow through with ejection.
Called it a strike? Is that what?
And here.
You can hear ball strike warning being said on the microphone. Again, everything is textbook except the shoe fly.
A veteran umpire, but Schnall and the first base coach, Schilling, have both been ejected from this College World Series game in the bottom of the first inning.